Welcome to episode 1 of the Home Services Home Show, where you learn everything you need to know
and a whole lot you don't.
God darn it. So here we are. I'm Andrew Larson, owner of Larson Home Services. With me,
Josh Keeney, Keeney Home Services.
So today, we just kind of wanted to introduce our podcast and give a little background about us. So again, my name is Andrew Larson. I formerly from northwestern, or I don't know, Twin Cities area, but in Wisconsin.
Not a Viking fan though.
Wisconsin, so I am a Packer fan. Don't like the Vikings.
Not much about
It's
them.
a big deal up there. But anyway, been in the construction industry for a long time. Got my start when I was 14, 15 years old when my dad said, "Hey, son, we're going to add on to the house."
Free labor, that's called.
Yeah, it was, yes, it was free labor. Doubled the size of our house, and we did everything besides dig the hole for the basement. But everything after that, we did it. I loved it. You know how I got paid?
No idea.
I was a basketball player, and my dad said, when we get done, you can have whatever pair of basketball shoes you want. I was like, what?
Converse?
No.
No.
No. So I did. I got the most expensive pair of basketball shoes that were on the market that day, and they were terrible. They were super heavy. They weren't great, but I looked cool.
Really cool.
I looked really, really cool. So that's my start. Then I got done with high school, went to college. In the summers, I started working for a company called Lindus Construction. Started off installing gutters, did some siding tear off, did a little bit of roofing, moved into sales, loved that, moved down here to start my own company, and here we are. So we're at roughly 25 years of a construction experience. So that's my background.
Yeah, and we actually have a similar fate. How we ended up here was kind of neat. So my story's pretty similar, right? As a kid, the family businesses were uncles and were home builders. So being a site rat, cleaning up and starting fires and throwing stuff on fires and picking up and cleaning up, right? So I went to college. I thought architecture was going to be my background. I thought, it's going to be fun. I'm going to be an architect. Well, I quickly learned that
You're not smart enough to do that.
Not smart enough. Well, you're right. And found out sitting in an office all day long wasn't going to be my jam.
Yeah.
Right. So at that point, I realized that project management was more my speed. So got into project management and had a lot of fun being outside. The roofing, the siding, the whole process was fun. Understanding the architectural design made it easy to manage a project.
For sure.
And then I got in a sales offer one time. I was golfing with a guy named Andy Lindus. Similar last name, right? And he said, "Hey, would you probably come sell for me?" And I said, "I don't know if I like sales." He goes, "You'd be really good at it. You like to talk, and you're kind of weird, so people might like you." So we end up starting. Yeah, it worked out pretty good. Started at Lindus Construction, and I met Andrew first day at Lindus Construction, and we ended up being in sales together. So a bunch of years later, we broke off. In 2007 and 8, I lost my parents to heart attacks at 50 and 52. So my wife and I said, "Hey, back home's the place to be." So we left Lindus Construction and opened a gutter business in Northeast Wisconsin in Neenah in 2009. At first face value, sounds like fun, except we're in a giant recession. Like, how are we going to do this?
Yeah, people thought we were crazy.
We were crazy.
Yeah.
But Emily Lindus, the mother, she said the recipe is really easy. Do what works and don't do what doesn't work, and you'll be just fine.
And they had how many years of experience to tell us what didn't work?
30.
30 at the time.
Yeah, at the time. It was probably pretty good advice.
They had made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, she says, "Don't do it. They're really expensive."
They're really expensive.
They're really expensive. Business isn't expensive, but mistakes are. So we started in 2009, and we started with 3 employees, and here we are today, over 50 employees, and having a lot of fun helping people, and that's the best part. And the cool thing is our businesses are identical, right?
Keeney Home Services, Larson Home Services, we do the exact thing. Same thing. We're experts from the attic up. Roofing, insulation, and gutters. Between the two of us, over 100 employees.
Yep.
We train the same way. Our guys work the same way. The same things are important to us when we work on someone's home.
Correct.
Quality, honesty, doing it the right way.
And it's really the customer experience, right?
100%.
At the end of the day, there's tons of companies out there that do siding and roofing and windows and gutters and all the stuff that people need on their homes. But there's very few that get the experience, right?
Right.
And that's what we do. And every one of our employees are exchangeable, right? I could take anyone from my office, put it in Andrew's office, and vice versa, and nothing's different. And that makes it kind of fun, and it makes us really, I think, better at what we do.
Yep. So that's how we got here, and that's how we got our experience. And we were sitting down one day, and I was like, man, we've got a lot of experience. We know a lot of stuff about a lot of different things in the construction industry. And if we don't know it, we know somebody who does.
Correct.
We need to be able to share this with people, and we need it to be able to be interactive so people can ask questions, email questions, and then, we can answer those questions for them and make some of the home improvement processes easier for people. So this is why we decided to
start our own home show
podcast.
Right. And that's really, to that point, when people go to home shows, they used to be a great experience back in the day. People would flood arenas, and they stop by different vendors, and they did that because they wanted to ask questions.
Right.
And they wanted to see, who am I talking to? What do they know? What ideas should I get if it's landscaping or plumbing or heating or building a house or land, whatever it is, right? They want to know ideas. Mm-hmm. And when Andrew and I were talking, like, hey, this makes good sense. So it gives people a platform to ask us questions and good answers without having to go deal with some of the creepy people at the home shows.
Absolutely. I mean, hence kind of why we're doing this too.
Correct.
You get to see people, you get to meet people, you get to see what we're like, what our personalities are like. And it's just, the home show.
The home show. And we'll have some fun. We'll talk some sports. We'll talk some
products,
weird stuff.
Different products from different companies, stuff that we don't do. Mm-hmm. Again, we want to run the gamut, but we really want people to help make it better.
Correct.
So we're not always trying to come up with what to talk about. I mean, I can talk.
Well, we can talk.
You can talk.
That's not a problem.
That's not a problem. But that's the introduction to our show.
Right.
That's who we are and why we're doing it. And I really don't think we could end our first episode, an introductory episode, any better than, I don't know,
the Pack.
Talk about the Packers.
I'd do anything for the Pack. I love the Packers.
I like the Packers.
It's a great looking game, man. They didn't play preseason, right? So this is literally
It's literally the Viking game was a preseason
game, right? Right, that one.
It's the first time Aaron Rodgers stepped on the field with like all new receivers.
Correct.
What do you expect?
Yeah, still Aaron Rodgers, but
Aaron Rodgers. And then the second game we have to play the Bears. And
Bears.
Going, oh dear Lord, we can't lose to the Vikings and then the Bears.
No, that'd be terrible, especially when they come to Lambeau, because they, although I love my Illinois brethren, they are a little obnoxious when they come to Lambeau.
Oh, you love them?
Yeah, when they're in Illinois,
I like them.
Yeah, when they're in Illinois, I like them. No, in all seriousness, my office is about 30 minutes from Lambeau. That whole Northeast Wisconsin is the area we mostly work in, Appleton and Green Bay, and Lambeau changes on the days before Pack game. It is a nice community, turns into a very busy community on Packer Sundays. And
I have a friend that I'm sure will be watching this and listening to this, and he's actually married to my office manager. His name is Keeney, and for the past 3 weeks, he's had a bright orange beard. And when I say bright orange, I mean, I thought it was a filter.
Deer hunting orange?
It's deer hunting orange, but more like Bears orange.
Wow.
And he did it on purpose. Like, he likes the Bears. So, Kenny, if you see this, sorry, not sorry.
Well, they get another chance.
They do.
We got to go to Chicago. They might have a little better chance, but we'll see.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Packers look good.
They look good. Jones was amazing, man. That was, when you see an athlete work like that. Shifty. Like we were back in the day. Not anymore.
I could run from point A to point B. There was no shiftiness about me. None. Zero.
No, he looked good and strong, and Dylan was, boy, oh boy. I wouldn't want to be the guy that meets him in the hole. That's
a good duo. Going to be an exciting season.
Yeah. Did you see that crazy guy that brought a horse and buggy to Green Bay?
I did.
Yeah.
I saw something about that.
He's kind of weird, but it's weird that he's related to me. Right? Kind of crazy.
Not surprising.
No, not surprising. No, my Uncle Bob started. He's since passed away, but he was a huge Packer fan. He's actually been inducted since he's died twice. He's been to be on Fan of the Year or Hall of Fame, and he's been a finalist 2 times since he's been dead. But he decided to bring horse and buggy to Lambeau one time from Toma, bring it to Lambeau.
How long does that take?
Well, it took him almost 2 weeks. He took his horse and his buggy and he started driving. No, this is back,
Not Amish.
Not Amish, no. No, just a good old, Vietnam vet that a little bit off tilt, but just one of the great humans, right? And he would start riding his horse in Buggy. He'd come to a farm and the horse was tired. So he'd knock on the door and ask the farmer, hey, can I put my horse up in your barn for the night? I'm going to Lambeau. Of course, what does every Wisconsin farmer say? Of course, right? And every once in a while, he'd sleep in the barn, or every once in a while, they'd invite Bob into the house and bring him in, feed him, and feed the horse, and he'd go on his way the next day. And he did
We're
this.
not talking about 100 years ago.
No, this is 15 years ago.
Okay.
So it was an annual trip. The first Packer game of the season, he would be at Lambeau with horse and buggy. Pretty wild, right? So he passed away, got sick, died of cancer, and our cousins, Jeremy and Colt, they wanted to keep the legacy going. So every year, they start in Toma, where Bob lived. They hook up the horse and buggy, and it takes them 7 days of actual riding time. They allow for 9 to give the horse a break. And for 9 days, they travel from Toma to Lambeau, and they roll into Lambeau Field, right down the streets of Green Bay, right up to the Lombardi exit. And there they park the horse and buggy.
Park?
Oh, yeah. Right by the statue where Lombardi goes like this. Yeah.
So they know he's coming.
They know he's coming. Yep.
Wow.
They pull the horse and buggy up, and we have a huge family. My grandmother had 17 kids, or 17 brothers and sisters. So the families always jump in the horse and buggy, different places throughout the state, and they ride for a day or half a day or whatever. Grandkids, great grandkids. It's kind of neat.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So if you ever see the horse and buggy at Lambeau,
Engineer Shane, we put pictures of the horse and buggy on the show.
give us a heads up. I like it.
There's going to be pics up, so you guys need to
Check that out.
check that out.
Pretty wild.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So next year, first game at Lambeau, you'll see the horse and buggy again.
Maybe we should podcast from the buggy.
We could live next year. That'd be awesome. We're coming with better ideas every time we do this.
Doing it. Awesome.
Great.
Well, thanks for listening.
Yeah. Our next one will be
That's the first show.
we'll pick a topic and we'll start rolling on them and answering people's questions, and it's going to be fun. You can go to the Keeney Home Services webpage or Larson. Go to
KeeneyHomeservices.com or LarsonHomeservices.com and
Forward Podcast,
find the link.
and we'll answer any questions you have. And there's no dumb questions, and there's a whole lot of smart questions. So ask away.
Thanks for watching and listening.
We'll see you next time.